Hey, how's it going? This is Coach Shay with Alpha Girl Soccer Academy, and welcome to the Alpha Girl Soccer podcast show, where we aim to inspire, empower, and positively impact female athletes. So in this week's episode, we are going to talk about the college recruiting process and how to get on college coaches' radar. So I recently held a college recruiting workshop for girls and their families in Sacramento, and I already knew this going into it, but it just proved to me how many families are in the dark about how to get recruited and what it is like to actually play in college. So that's why I wanted to shed some light on the topic and help you get recruited today. So first, you must understand that there are nearly 400,000 girls high school soccer players in the U.S. And of those girls, only about 7% of them will play soccer in college. So I don't care how good you are, if you don't know how to market yourself and communicate with college coaches, then they will never know you exist and you will not be able to play in college. So you must be educated on the process and first do the work to get there. So the most common way for college coaches to evaluate players is at tournaments or college showcases. So big tournaments such as Surf Cup or college showcases are booming with college coaches. And that's personally how I got recruited and how a lot of my teammates got recruited. So with that being said, most of those time, those big tournaments are much more expensive and reserved for higher level, premier level teams. So only the top teams in the country and in the region are going to get the chance to play in those big tournaments and college showcases. So does that mean if your team isn't ranked that you can't be recruited? Absolutely not. You will just have to work much harder to be seen. So there are a lot of great tournaments around the country where local colleges attend and evaluate. But with that being said, you have to understand that college coaches don't just randomly show up to a tournament and watch random games. They are there with a list of players to specifically watch and teams to watch. So when attending tournaments, you must be proactive in communicating with college coaches before the tournament to let them know you exist and to let them know that you have interest in attending their program. So in addition to being evaluated at tournaments, another great way to be seen is to attend college ID camp. So college ID camp, identification camp, is where a single college or several colleges host a camp for high school age players to showcase their skills so they can be evaluated. So these can be a great way to be seen, or they can be a complete waste of time and money if you don't do it right. So just like with the tournaments, the coaches are going to be much more likely to evaluate you if they know who you are. So if you are going to attend a college ID camp, you must do the work before you even get there. So what that means is reach out to the coaches that will be in attendance and let them know that you will be there. Talk yourself up and be educated on their program before you even show up. So as you can see, there's a lot of communication that needs to happen in order to be recruited. And one of the best ways to communicate with college coaches is through email. So I know writing an email to a college coach can be terrifying, so I want to give you a few guidelines when writing emails to coaches. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that each email is personal. So number one, it's personal to you, right? You're letting them know who you are, and then make it personal to that coach. So state their name. Don't just have a generic email. Every email needs to be personal to that coach, okay? And then second thing is to research the program before you email. So in your email, you want to let the coach know that you've done their research, you know about their program, you know about their roster, and you are educated in the decision that you really do have interest in attending that school. And then next is use a subject line that will make them open it. If you don't have a subject line or a subject line that isn't interesting, then they probably aren't going to want to open it. They probably receive hundreds of emails a week from kids who want to play in college, so you need to make sure that your subject line is enticing and makes them want to open it. So in your email, you should include the following. Number one is you should include your basic academic and athletic information. Let them know about you, talk yourself up. Number two is let them know your game schedules. That way they can come see you play. And then number three is make sure you include your club and or high school coach's contact information. So the reason for that is that D1 coaches can only respond to your emails after September 1st of your junior year. So that's for D1. For D2, college coaches can only respond to you after June prior to your to your junior year, okay? But they can talk to your club and high school coaches about you before that, okay? And they will start evaluating you, especially Division I, as early as 8th to 9th grade. So therefore, it's important to get on their radar so they can evaluate you. That way you have a head start and have already been evaluated going into that junior year. So if you are serious about playing in college and want my one-on-one daily help to get there, have your parents send me an email at shay@alphagirlsoccer.com. From there, we will discuss where you're at in the recruiting process and if we are the right fit to work together. All right, I look forward to talking with you. Catch you on next week's episode.